United Airlines has long been an aviation pioneer, being the launch customer of multiple aircraft including the Boeing 767 and 777. United recently made headlines once again by placing a firm order for 200 new Boeing aircraft with options for 100 more. An order as big as this, combined with United's 270 aircraft order last year, really starts to solidify the future of United's fleet as it changes over the coming decade. Today we're going to discuss this massive new order from United and furthermore see how it will change the airline's fleet over the coming years. The points I make in this video will both be based on statements made by the airline and my own speculation. All of the sources I used in creating this video will also be linked in the description below. So with all that being said, let's begin. United's most recent aircraft purchase consists of 100 firm orders for the Boeing 787 and another 100 firm orders for the Boeing 737 MAX. The order also gives United the option to purchase 100 more 787s should the airline choose to exercise this right. This order is especially historic in that 200 new 787s with 100 already confirmed represents the largest wide-body aircraft order by a U.S. carrier in commercial airline history. The 787 order doesn't specify the variant, meaning United can choose among the -8, -9, and -10 variants as they see fit. The new Dreamliners will be delivered between 2024 and 2032, replacing older wide-body aircraft in the process. As for the 100 new 737 MAXs that the airline also ordered, 44 will be delivered between 2024 and 2026, and the remaining 56 will arrive between 2027 and 2028. Of course, all of these delivery timelines are barring any supply chain or aircraft issues or other company hiccups. United hasn't specified which MAX variants are included in this order, but I've heard 80 will be MAX 10s and the remaining 20 are to be determined. This massive order comes around a year and a half following United's massive 270 aircraft order last year in June of 2021. This order consisted of 200 Boeing 737 MAXs, split into 50 MAX 8s and 150 MAX 10s, and 70 Airbus A321neos entering the fleet starting early next year. All in all, the airline anticipates taking delivery of around 700 new narrowbody and widebody aircraft by the end of 2032. United's mainline fleet currently stands at over 850 planes. With 700 expected to join the fleet over the next decade, it really makes you wonder what's getting replaced and what's staying. Thankfully, United seems to have solidified their fleet plans following these two massive orders, at least they have for wide-body planes. Personally, I was always wondering what United had planned for their aging A320, 757, 767, and 777 fleets, since historically they hadn't outlined a set retirement plan. These new orders, though, have given me a partial answer. The massive influx of 787s will be directed at modernizing United's wide-body fleet, and so that means the 767s and the older 777s will be replaced. As it stands, United anticipates that all 767-300 and 767-400 aircraft will be retired by 2030. The 777s are a bit more complicated though, as United has not specified a retirement period, which 777s are retiring, and how many exactly. The ones that do get retired, I assume, will be removed soon after the new Dreamliners arrive by 2032. As far as which 777s are retiring during this period, I would think it's the 777-200 non-ERs currently allotted to domestic service and a significant portion of 200 ERs. All 777-300 ERs and I imagine a few 200 ERs will remain in service for slightly longer. The new 787 order will be especially helpful for United on the environmental side of things, as it will result in a 25% decrease in carbon emissions per seat compared to the 767 and older 777s being replaced. This especially contributes to United's goal of becoming 100% green by 2050. In terms of United's global reach, investing in more 787s is a great choice given that most of United's longest flights are currently operated by Boeing 787s, more specifically the -9 variant. More 787s joining the fleet means United can look into starting more ultra-long-haul routes from more of their hubs. So who knows, maybe we'll see routes like Chicago to Cape Town or Denver to Dubai become reality in the near future. Shifting our attention to the narrowbody aircraft, this is where United is a little more vague when it comes to retirement plans. With over 550 narrowbody planes expected to join the fleet over the next decade, United says that these will replace quote-unquote older, smaller mainline jets and at least 200 regional jets. What aircraft they're referring to exactly is beyond me. In terms of narrowbodies, United has only outlined retirement plans for the Boeing 757-200, which will be retired by 2026. The airline's 2019 order for 50 A321XLRs, in addition to the massive A321neo and 737 MAX 10 orders, are said to be the 757-200's replacements. But that's like 200-something new planes replacing only 40 757-200s, so it makes me wonder what else is on the chopping block. From what I can tell, likely candidates include the older A319s, A320s, 737-700s, and 737-800s that are currently pushing 23 to 29 years of age. On the surface, it seems like the obvious choice to retire these older aircraft as the new ones come in. However, the aircraft types I just mentioned are included in the United Next program, which involves retrofitting quote-unquote 100% of the mainline narrowbody fleet with the new signature interior by 2025. If this plan holds true for the entire existing narrowbody fleet, one question I'd like to pose is how long will United keep their oldest narrowbody jets following the refurbishment? Because by 2025, the oldest narrowbody jets will be around 29 to 32 years old. Considering the average short-haul aircraft lifespan is 25 years, United really needs to consider if it's even worth retrofitting these older planes at the end of their lifespan, especially if the replacements will already have the new cabin installed. One last thing I'd like to touch on in this segment is what regional jets are getting retired, because again, United did say that at least 200 regional jets are getting replaced by the incoming new narrowbodies. I think the most realistic prospects for retirement are the CRJ-200s from Air Wisconsin and SkyWest, the CRJ-700s from SkyWest, and the older Embraer 170s from Republic Airways, which amounts to 224 planes, so I mean, hey, it could happen. So that's all I have to say regarding the narrowbody fleet plans. Like I said, United hasn't explicitly stated which planes are getting retired with the massive influx of new planes over the coming years, but I'm curious to hear what you think will happen, so leave me a comment below with your thoughts. Now, because this video is about United's new plane orders and the future of their fleet, there's one more key topic I don't want to skip. This, of course, is what the situation is with United's Airbus A350 order. At this point, I think the order is pretty pointless and would not be surprised if United cancels it altogether. To provide some context, United first announced their A350 order all the way back in 2009. After a series of changes and deferrals, the order was most recently amended in 2017 to be for 45 A350-900s. With the massive 787 order, United has once again deferred receiving their A350s, this time to 2030. But even after such a massive deferral, the A350 isn't completely out of the question for United. United CEO Scott Kirby, as reported by Reuters, said that the A350 conversation is most applicable to when United decides to replace the majority of its 777 fleet, which he said won't be happening until the end of the decade, so 2030. But to be fair, if you already have such a big 787 order with over 300 787s expected to be in the fleet by 2032, introducing a completely new aircraft type would unnecessarily complicate things. There are many formalities when it comes to introducing a new plane type to an airline fleet, and one of the biggest ones is crew training. In a time like right now where airlines are scrambling to hire new pilots in the wake of a progressively worsening pilot shortage crisis, the last thing an airline would want is to spend more money and waste more time on training crew and maintenance technicians for a completely new aircraft type. Not only this, but United has never operated an Airbus widebody aircraft before, so it just doesn't make sense to take delivery of so many Boeing widebodies and then sprinkle in some A350s for fun. That's just my take on things, but again, do let me know what you think. In conclusion, United's massive 200 aircraft order from Boeing, on top of the 270 aircraft order from Boeing and Airbus last year, shows that the airline is committed to maintaining a modern fleet of aircraft and improving their overall passenger experience. Speaking of improvements, I really do hope United's bank account recovers from this, because 700 new planes, I imagine that has quite the impact on United's finances, but that discussion is beyond the scope of this channel. There's a lot of material we discussed today, but I really hope you enjoyed watching, and even though I asked quite a bit, do let me know your thoughts on some of the points I made in this video, which again were part based on my own speculation and part based on statements made by the airline itself. Thank you all so much for sticking around until the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. That's all for today. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.